Afternoon and welcome aboard a third full day on Cherville 2, and it is an absolutely miserable, damp, horrible, wet day. Lots of drizzle that just permeates through everything, so
it just keeps coming.
It just keeps coming and coming. So I've spent most of the morning on my own on the back of the boat in the freezing cold and the wet. Anyway, we've come about 5 or 6 miles from our overnight mooring. This is Blisworth. The village of Blisworth, so we've moored up here just to have a spot of lunch. Blisworth Tunnel is not too far away. I think it's the third largest tunnel on the network, and then once we're through Blisworth Tunnel, we are at Stoke. Yes, we're at Stoke Bruerne, so that is the turning point for this trip, because we'll then have to start retracing our route over the next 2 or 3 days to head back up towards Braunston and then back towards Napton Junction. Slow going this morning. We were tootling along and the boat in front of us waved us past, and the other boat just in front of him slowed right down as well, so I thought the two of them were together. As I tried to go past the second boat, he seemed to speed up, and then as we came round a bend there was a boat coming in the other direction and a narrow bridge, so I had to back right off, and then it was a sort of weird game of cat and mouse where progress was extremely slow. You meant to do no more than 4 miles an hour, which is a brisk walking pace. We weren't even at a toddle at that point in time, so it's taken a lot longer to get here than I imagined it would do. But there's only probably about another 2 miles or so to go now, and I think the majority of that will be in the tunnel, where at least it should be generally dry. In a few minutes we'll be going through the tunnel, 3,076 yards long, by my maths 1.7 miles, and then at the other end of it we moor up in Stoke Bruerne, which is the end point of our journey, and then from there on in we will be retracing our steps from the last 2 days. Beautiful old mill here as well. Very wet and windy today. Quite a miserable day in all honesty. New build or old is the question. I reckon old. An old lock product or something. Except there aren't any locks around here. We actually started this tunnel and had lots of problems with collapses, there was quicksand and all kinds of things, and eventually they had to move it elsewhere about 300 yards across. I have my cameraman with me now, so I'm going to take over the filming.
Am I? Oh, okay, I am holding it.
It's filming now.
I know it is.
Hello, is the another boat ahead or not?
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully the girls will notice we're going into the tunnel. Oh yeah, I remember coming here. Oh! I did something! I didn't know you could do that, that's cool. Okay, 1 second.
1.7 miles long, this. Down the river of British Waterways, as we were then back in the early 80s, to rebuild this tunnel. Spent 4 parts in it after it collapses. Spent £4.5 million doing it up. They used the technology that
Side. Whoa! It's all in my eyes! I tried to look up the shaft and it all went in my eyes.
those shafts are how they built the tunnel. They put 21 stakes across the countryside. I watched this on Fox's Afloat the other day. They lined them up with the church tower over one side of the hill to the other, 21 stakes in a row, and then they sunk shafts where the stakes were, lowered people down to a certain height, and then they, once they got to where they needed to be, they started digging in both directions and linked all the different shafts together. But it took years to do, and it's 20 years in all because of all the problems of building this tunnel. And at one time they used to have to come into Stoke Bruerne at the far end, moor up, unload all of their cargo, and then it was taken across Blisworth Hill about 2.5 miles to Blisworth village, and then reloaded on boats at that end, and off we went up the canal. I've driven round here before, and from Blisworth village across towards Stoke Bruerne, it's probably about 3 miles in the car, and it's all just farmland, almost lots of farms. There's caravan sites up there as well, woodland, and lots of weird little hillocks, because a lot of the stuff that they dug out for the tunnel was then just dumped in big piles above us. So coming up towards the last section here. Now this is the bit where they use the channel tunnel technology, so these big concrete caissons form a circle which goes down into the water underneath us. So it's a lot different to what we just passed through. Yards and yards and yards, millions of bricks behind us. There's another boat following us now as well.
Yeah. That's very...
Well, now we're about to emerge into Stoke Bruerne. Hooray! It's been our target for the last 3 days. It's taken us a lot longer to get here than I imagined it would. Canal miles are much slower than I remember them being. So we now need to moor up, get some water, get warm. It's freezing cold today.
It's not raining anymore.
Rain has stopped. Wow.
Yes, get in, the rain stopped.